Aloha, friends. Today's topic, understanding perspective. Um, yeah, so this came about. I don't know what I was listening to. I listened to so much stuff, um, but yeah, I was listening to something, and it just got me thinking about um, my perspective on things and how. I think there needs to be a bigger focus on it or a better understanding of it. Um, and I say that because when you truly understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, then it could actually change everything. Um, so I remember, like, I haven't been on this spiritual journey. And it even feels weird saying it that way, like spiritual journey. Um, but I've only been a part of this community for a couple years, actually. Um, but you know, ever since I joined, or ever since I became a regular, um, a lot of things have changed, like the way I view things, the way I see things, or how I feel about things have evolved or changed over time. Just like many of us, or many of you have probably experienced also. You're not the same person prior to um, entering this group. But anyway, uh, I remember doing a I think it was a journey with JJ, and the message that I got was, I'm not trying to learn something, I'm trying to remember something. And like hit me, one of those, like, ooh, shook my chair, got rocked my foundation. Um, and from that point on, I felt like a little shift. And so then I started like thinking, um, thinking of things differently, in the sense that, how was it before? How did I do this before? What did I used to think? Not in this like lifetime, but in previous lifetimes. Like what is my soul? Not this, but that energy inside of me. What is it really like? How was it really? Was it a goofball like I am today? Was it super serious like I can be today? Um, just a lot of things crossed my mind. And so basically I was, um I don't want to say chasing it, but I was always reaching for that, trying to, you know, um, figure out who I was, and as a soul, as a spirit, as an entity, not as I sit here today. And so, going back to the topic of perspective, it's just interesting that, how things can change when uh, the prism that you look at it through, or the light surrounding the topic or subject, changes a little bit. And so, um, that whole thing about who I am as a spirit and all that stuff, that kind of like hung around for a while, and then kind of just fell to the wayside, but the structure of it has like followed me forward, where I always try to define things and have like understanding of, I don't want to say everything, but a lot of things. Like even the way I'm feeling. Like, why are you feeling this way? Or are you angry? Why are you angry? Are you frustrated? Why are you frustrated? What is it? What is it that's making you so like excited or happy in this moment? You know, like, is it real in the sense that am I understanding this correctly? Like, is the anger really with this person or is it really with me? And then, oh, if it's with me, then it shifts, right? Then it's no longer about like the other person, it becomes about me. And then the same thing with, frustration. But I also try to apply that to like good things that happen, you know, like the retreat that I went on, the meditation groups, healing groups that I sit in on, and stuff like that, or just hanging out with the family, um, stuff like that, or being on a live and chatting with you all from time to time. I just try to understand like where is this coming from, what emotions are coming from, or where are they coming from rather. And so a few days ago I stumbled across a video, and I think it was about Buddhism, but I kind of like right away got the idea and applied it, like, I don't want to say globally, but more than just Buddhism. It's not something that I think my mom was Buddhist, or not her. I think it was her dad, grandfather was Buddhist. And so there's like some influence, like I know of it, but I don't practice it. I'm not like, I don't want to say that, oh, that's me, because it's not. But I do appreciate it. And, you know, I guess in the video they were saying like what, um, trying to remember, but I guess there's like different fractions of Buddhism. And so like there's one group that says, you're trying to attain enlightenment, and then there's one group that says you already are enlightened. And you know I was like, oh wow, what if I did look at look at it that way, like I already am enlightened, or you know I already am awakened, like I was born that way, like, or we were all born that way, we were always awakened. um and then so like, you know if you grab onto that idea or hold it or take it as a truth, then you're not striving or reaching for something anymore. What you're trying to do is remember it, or maybe embody it. um but yeah, that's the I just thought that that was really, again, like a seat shaker. Like if you were to walk with the knowing that you already are something. And I think there's a lot of other people that have preached this in the path, where you have to own the change for the change to happen. You have to walk in the body of that energy, um before it can be manifested or something like that. So I guess it made me think even harder, just remembering that, that so many people have said that. And the possibility of like, wow, maybe we really are already enlightened. We were born that way. Maybe that's true. And then over time, we forgot, or we were encouraged not to think that way. And it's not too so I really get turned off when I hear like um we're blaming like society, or like we were hold on a second. Oh. Um that we were like encouraged to be different because there's choice involved, right? I mean, I guess I want to be accountable for the way I am because basically I chose to be this way. Like, however I am today is the person that I want to be, or, you know, is the person that I am because that's what I chose to be. And if I don't like something about myself, then I always have or had the ability to change it and to become better or worse or whatever, right? And so, um, I guess when you walk a certain way, like if you walk like you are something, then you really embody that. But if you walk like you hope or you wish for something, you're just further away from being that. Um, yeah, I guess, you know, it's an interesting thing to think about because, you know, I'm not gonna say everybody does this, but I can probably it's easy to say like we have been this way. We've all at one point in time been a victim or had victim like that victim mentality, like, oh, this was done to me or whatever. Um and it holds us back. But then, like what if we didn't think like that and we just thought like everything in the best light possible? Like, oh, I'm broke, I can't afford anything, my health sucks or something like that. I'm always sick. I got a bad back, or my knee is always killing me. I have these migraines for years. I'm overweight. I have type 2 diabetes, or, whatever it is, whatever ailment or, societal thing, like a lack of abundance, or, my job sucks, or I could have a better car. I need a better car. Like, what if we looked at it through a different perspective, like a different lens? Like, man, I'm so lucky to have a car. There's so many people that don't have a car, or, you know, uh, I'm lucky to be living in this house that I live in because there's so many people that don't have one. And it's not to say like, I guess maybe I don't even know if that's correct because then you're like pointing out differences, like where I guess it's just to be I guess what I'm trying to say is to be more appreciative of what we have and not like desperate for the things that we don't have, or um maybe more appreciative of just life in general, the life that we're living. um I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done this video. Maybe it's I only say that because it's like I know like nothing's like um it's all like jumble thoughts and stuff like that. This is like the issue that I always fight myself with is like, should I make this video? Um, is it gonna come out right? You know, uh, can I like have structure to it where things kind of make sense and there's a flow, and but it's like all over the place. And I guess like that's kind of how my mind works when I spiral out or think of something. It's like you have the whole, and then you fall down it or you walk down it. But then sometimes, like, there's a turn here and there's a turn here. It's never a straight line, So it's almost like a pinball machine. You're just bouncing from one bumper to the next. And sometimes the ride is good and sometimes it's awkward. Maybe like this video. But I guess if I could try to save it or pull it back together, that's my perspective. Like, maybe I should look at it differently. Like, these bumpers are a good thing. Every time I get taken in a different direction, that's a good thing because I'm still moving and I'm not stuck or stranded in one thought. Like, there is progression, even though it might be weird or awkward or there is no connection, but maybe that's the point. Maybe it's, you know, I guess it's like you know, um when you meditate and you set the intentions and, like, oh, I'm gonna have a great meditation, I want to see all kinds of stuff, and you see nothing. Or you're just starting in the meditation and you're focusing on your breath, and then your mind just goes wild. And you start to think like, oh man, I'm not a good meditator, I suck at this. And you've been doing this for years, and what's wrong with you? But then it's like, maybe that is the meditation. It's not about, like, maybe it's not about, like, what you want um for that to happen, but maybe it's happening the way it's supposed to, because those random thoughts that you're trying to get rid of are being gifted to you by spirit. Like, say, hey, look at this, expound on this, because it leads you to something, some awakening, or maybe if it doesn't have to, you should put attention to, for whatever reason, because it leads you into a direction, or maybe it's just about that one topic. um I guess, like, that also came up too in my perspective, thinking of perspective, right? It's like, you know why I can't meditate. Well, I don't want to say that because that's putting up a block, but I don't have the meditations that I wish to have on my own that I do have when somebody else is guiding me. And I know a lot of people have experienced that, where you have the greatest of intentions, and I'm going to do a 30-day challenge, where I meditate, and I do this, and you can't even get past the breath, and because your mind just goes wild, or you fall asleep, or you know that happens all the time. And I feel bad. I feel like I'm not good, like, oh gosh, you failed again. Like, can't you just, like, breathe without anything entering your mind? But then it's like, then I started thinking about it, like, what if it's supposed to, though? Like, what if the breath led to the mind pulling in stuff, and it's not coming from your mind, it's coming from your guides? And then it's like, oh, okay. If it's not coming from me and it's coming from my guides, then that's different, right? Um, then you would welcome it. You'd be excited by it. You would think, like, hey, I'm doing it. I can do this. I'm doing it. I'm embodying it, right? But then when it doesn't, then we're like, oh gosh, here we go again. But yeah, I don't know. I think perspective is is a very, I guess it's one of those things that I have to, well, not have to, but it's one of those things that, like, those core things that I try to focus on. Maybe not so much as, like, being present and not attaching myself to outcomes, um, but maybe it should be more prevalent. Um, I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm a cuckoo bird, or if you think the topic was cool, or the video was cool or bad, it doesn't matter. It's all love. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.